Welcome back to the Roundtable on the IH Sports Network. We are live from El Rey, and now we are joined by Friday night's Players of the Game. First National Bank Players of the Game. By the way, they sponsor that. I should probably plug that.
And he wore a First National Bank shirt.
I noticed that.
Yep.
Levi is on the ball. Oneida's Levi James, Scott High's Auton Whaley. Both of these guys are two-time players of the game this year. And Auton, we're going to start with you. Career high on Friday night, 120 yards rushing on 25 carries. Now, before I let Rick get started, because he's going to grill you good about Friday night's game, Woody's trivia Friday night was who has the most rushing yards, single-game rushing yards in Scott High history. The answer to that was Wesley Smith, who back in 2005 rushed for 300-plus yards and 4 touchdowns at Fulton, same field that you were on Friday night. And if I'm wrong, Rick, you correct me, but I believe Friday night was the first game since then. Now, in all fairness, Scott's not played Fulton a lot since 2005, but they've played a few times, and I believe that was the first time Friday night that a Scott High running back has rushed for 100-plus yards against Fulton.
I think that's correct.
Yeah, so congratulations. That was a good game.
Thank you.
Ready? As we turn the clock back and we think about the game the other night, Fulton got the first score. Mm-hmm. They went for 2. They failed. We come back in the second quarter, get the touchdown run, get the extra point by Hugo, 7-6 with 4.5 minutes or so left in the first half. Give us your thoughts and then team thoughts. What was happening with the team at that point Friday night?
I don't know. I think we was all just – whenever we went up, it kind of like caught us off guard really because, I think caught everybody off guard. Nobody expected us to come out and do that. And whenever we got out there, we just kind of let our hopes get up, I guess. And then they started returning everything on us, and I don't think we do real good on keeping energy after a big play like that happens. So whenever he returned that punt return on the people, it just really took a toll on us.
It gave the Falcons that 14-7 lead because they converted a 2-point conversion on that. Well, you're on the sidelines when the defense is out on the field, and you've got to be pretty proud of the defense. You take away that punt return and one other penalty type thing there in the first half, but take away that punt return, the defense done real well.
Yeah, we held them out pretty good there, especially that first. I think it was the first. No, it was the second time.
Their second possession.
Yeah, their second possession, we held them out, and Jaden locked them up on that deep throw right there, and that really gave us a lot of motivation there too to put it where we needed to be.
Well, defense got 2 of those turnovers on downs in the first half. So you could feel that there was some intensity. I think if you can tell me about the intensity on the sideline, we could feel it, and also the fact that I felt most of your team thought, hey, this is something different. Let's see if we can build on this.
Yeah. Whenever we really went up, it was just we all started getting real hopped up. Whenever we – normally if they score first, we all lose our energy. But then we came out and we scored, and we all got our energy back, and that's when the defense comes out and really shows off.
Well, in that second quarter, I think a little less than 5 minutes, they were able to pick up 3 touchdown scores. Basically, it goes from that, what was a 7-6 lead, it bumps it up to 28-7 at halftime. Highlanders get the ball to start the third quarter. And we go to the ground game. I don't think we threw a single pass on that drive.
No, I don't think so.
And you must have carried between you and Brady, you carried the ball the most until we got down on, you carried the ball certainly the most. And we were watching up there in the press box, and after every carry, you're tapping the helmet, hey, give me a break here. And you're bending over and resting. And then plays call, you step up there, you carry the ball again and again and again. And even before the touchdown run, that 1-yard touchdown run, you were just breathing hard with, holding, bending over at the waist, breathing hard. But it appears to me like you sucked it up each and every time that you had to carry the ball.
Yeah, and I got to thank Billy for that, really, because I was trying to get out, but every time I'd bend over, I'd just hear Billy and everybody on the sideline screaming, finish it, stand up. Don't let them know you're tired. Coach Harris, actually, after I got off the field and got on the sideline, Coach Harris came over there to me, and I was laying down on the turf on the side, and Coach told me that I could do that all day, but when I'm out there on the field, don't let them know I'm tired.
Exactly. exactly. That was a big momentum change.
Mm-hmm.
We're 28-14, just 2 touchdown scores.
Mm-hmm.
The defense had forced the turnovers on downs twice in the first half. You get one more of those, move the ball down the field.
Yeah.
It can be a 1 touchdown score difference. So what was going on when I think they scored. We got the ball back, but we just didn't move it. I mean, we went 3 and out and had to punt to them, and that's Katie bar the door when you have to punt to a Fulton team that's got number 1 ready to return. And I'm sitting in the box. I'm saying, Hugo, kick it out of bounds. Hugo, kick it out of bounds. And somehow it just didn't ever get out of bounds. But
no, we went over that all week. Don't kick the number 1. I think we even put it in his notes not to kick the number 1. But I don't know if he's that accurate of a kicker quite yet.
Well, he's wait a minute. I'm on Hugo's side a little bit right here. We had punter number 1 and punter number 2 out with injuries.
Yeah.
And so that leaves Hugo. And Hugo, I thought, was a pretty good option in the rugby-style type kick.
He filled the position.
And the only problem was he was kicking, and on their turf, they were getting these high bounces that they were able to field, just straight down the field. They were able to go with it. But overall,
he filled the position pretty good, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not just because he's here and listening, but he did admirable in that spot. We get through the Fulton game now. We got to focus on another very tough opponent in Gatlinburg Pittman.
Mm-hmm.
Anything? I know you guys spend Mondays watching film. Anything we need to? I mean, I think I know. They're a passing team first.
Yeah.
They've got an extremely good running back. They've got a complete package, and they can go out and play defense well. What do you think about GP?
They're a pretty good team, but I think if we just come out on fire like we did against Fulton, I feel like we can really surprise a lot of the people that's watching and playing against us. Really surprise them. But I'd say their biggest threat's probably their running back.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think if we just come out, don't lose our energy off the first score, I feel like we can do pretty good against them.
Want to backtrack just 1 second. Started 2 freshmen on defense the other night, and some other youngsters in there. Sort of rate that group of young men on the team right now.
The freshmen, oh gosh, they've got their days, but you can tell some of them are ready to get after it, ready to learn, be able to play, and I think they was just waiting for their chance. Whenever that JV game came along, a lot of them earned their chance and got their starting spot on there. But they're not bad.
They're not bad, yeah. Well, you're a senior. Somebody's got to be stepping up, thinking about playing in your position next year.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to talk about himself. So.
Auton, you are my new favorite Scott High player. Anybody that can come in here and put Hugo on the spot like you just did, I admire that. No, I'm going to come back to something that you said in just a minute, so hang tight. But Levi's feeling neglected, so we got to swing over here. He's hung around Mark Matthews for so long that he feels like he's got to have that attention, Tim Smith. No, Levi, and you guys correct me, Rick, and Tim, if I'm wrong, but Levi, I think, is our first sophomore player of the game, our only sophomore player of the game this season so far, and now he's been player of the game twice. Tim, you mentioned the last time it was for defense, and this time another good defensive game, but also the leading receiver for Oneida against Monterey on Friday night. So congratulations on a fine game.
Yeah, we got a little thin at receiver on Friday night with Colton and Jarek not available, and so we needed somebody to step up, and Levi did. So that's first thing we're going to ask you, Levi. We talked about how aggressive you are on defense, coming up from that safety position. You were still doing that Friday night, and you had 13 tackles in the last game. That's why you were here. This night, we needed somebody to catch the football, and you stepped up and did that. Which do you like better? Which would you rather play? Because you were on both of them, right?
Yeah.
On Friday night. But which one, if you had your choice, would you rather play?
I like playing wide receiver. It's fun, but there's nothing like defense. I love it. I love playing defense. I love tackling people.
So
I think he told
one.
us that last time he was here.
I was just making sure because
I think
he hadn't
Kevin
made
asked
it.
him that question.
He hadn't had all those receptions last time. Yeah, so I thought it might have changed.
Yeah, that was my one. This last game was my one big game at wide receiver that I got in a lot at.
Yeah. So tell me, in the 8 games you played, what's the best team you all have played this year in your estimation? Who do you think's been the toughest, the best team?
I think York was the best competition we've had all around. Last game, we was short on players, and they just ran it. Yeah. But I think York was the best team we've played so far.
All right. And so now you guys are going to have to get ready for the playoffs. You're playoff bound. You've got 2 weeks to do that. This week is going to be Sequoia. So is there anything that in particular that Coach has said, here's what we're going to work on this week? We're going to get better at this.
He ain't really said much about that, but I just know we got to keep our heads up the entire game because we didn't do that against Monterey. School is going to be a tough game. They're a good team. We just got to keep our heads up and keep on playing.
Feels like you're just not that far away. We've been losing these games, but it's not that far away, right? I mean, when it was 14-3, if you guys could have just got a stop going into halftime, you were getting the ball back. It might have been a different game.
Yes, sir.
What would have to change for you all to get that stop?
I think by the time they scored and everything, we just started holding our heads down like we do every time. We get real emotional. We stop playing like we should, like we know how to. I don't know. Something just changes in our mindset, and we got to keep on playing.
All right. Do you have an emotional leader on the field? Anybody that kind of goes around and tries to keep everybody lined up that way?
Elijah Phillips is that guy for sure.
Yeah.
He tries to keep our heads up all the time.
All right. Now, when we do these players of the game, we debate. I mean, somebody will throw out a name, we'll look at stats, we'll look at these different things, and then kind of all settle on it. If you were picking a player of the game on the Monterey game, who might you have selected? You're the player of the game, but who do you think probably should have got player of the game if it wasn't you?
I probably would have picked probably Caden.
Yeah.
I heard he got most completions in the season or something like that.
In a game, I think.
Yeah,
17.
in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he tied his own record, 17 in a game. Yeah.
He did really well.
What about for MVP for the season? We've played 8 games. Season's not over, but if you had to pick an MVP for the season.
I don't know.
You can pick one offense, one defense. Do that.
Defense, I'd say Lige. Lige is definitely that guy on defense.
Elijah Phillips.
Offense, maybe Jarek, maybe Caden.
All right.
One of those guys.
What about the weather? You get these weather swings through the season. Starts off just sweat and cramp and all that stuff, and then you get into these games where it's going to be really cold. Does weather affect your play, the way you play?
No. When it's cold out there, you start running around and you kind of get used to it. Your body warms up and you start playing.
All right, Levi, I may have asked you this last time because I am getting old, but did you select number 13 or did they select it for you?
I've always played number 13.
Why is that?
My uncle, he passed away. His name was Caleb. He played for Huntsville, and
What was his last name?
Davidson.
Caleb Davidson. And he was 13?
Yep. My older brother, knowing he played football, he always wore 13. It's just something we've chose to do.
All right. Well, I didn't ask you last time. I'm glad I did ask you this time. Levi, you are our player of the game for Friday night. Did a great job. And, of course, you know what that does. You're a sophomore, so the expectations are there. Yeah, Mark, stay on you about that. I wasn't going to bring Mark up, but, you did. So.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's not here to say anything about it.
He don't come.
Right? I know, yeah. Not very supportive, is he?
No, not at all.
That's shameful, really.
It really is.
It is.
Yeah. Maybe we'll fine him or make him sit.
I'll call him after this.
Yeah,
I'll talk to him.
we may make him sit the first quarter next time.
He should.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
the
then
whole
it's going to be you and John L.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Let me ask you that. MVP of the broadcast team, take me out of it. Is it Mark or John L?
This is hard. I think I got to choose Mark because I'm at his house every day, so I don't want him to beat me up.
And that's the only reason.
Diplomatic
There
answer.
you go. All right.
All right, now before we step out of this segment, I'm going to come back over here to you, Auton, because you brought something up. And I wouldn't have asked you this. I'm going to put you on the spot, though. It's kind of like if you're on trial and you decide to take the witness stand, the prosecutor's sitting there, and there's things he wants to ask you, but he can't unless your attorney asks you and you bring it up, and then it's open. The floor's open, and he can grill you. So I'm going to grill you. Now, you said this a couple of times. You guys, when a big play happens, you lose your energy. It's kind of like, well, here we go again. And we've picked up on that throughout this season. So I'm going to ask you, what do you have to do as a team to change that and not lose your energy when something goes wrong, and just, as General Nealon, I think it was, said, Tim, am I right, put on more steam? Is that a General Nealon maxim?
Yes.
Put on more steam when something goes wrong.
Whenever a big play like that happens, you just got to come out, punch him in the mouth next play, and don't let it happen again, really, I guess. Because once the big play happens like that, and then you go out and you stop them after that, I mean, the big play is just like it never happened. I mean, momentum's back up on defense.
Okay. Auton Whaley, 120 yards, career high against Fulton. Levi James, leading receiver and second leading tackler for Oneida Friday night against Monterey, our first National Bank players of the game. Congratulations, guys. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to look ahead to this week's games.